Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Today we have brought top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Trump signed order to begin closing the education department. Trump calls for impeachment of federal judge but removal unlikely. Trump proposes U.S. role in securing Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, but Russian troops stand in the way. Trump warns Iran over Houthi support amid U.S. military action. Viral video falsely claims Trump banned Indian customer service. U.S. offers $15 million reward for Oman and accomplices smuggling drone take to Iran. Porn star Rick Harrison opens up about losing son Adam to fentanyl. Governor Hochul reaffirms the free breakfast and lunch for over 2.7 million students. Israel threatens Gaza with complete destruction if Hamas fails to release hostages. European leaders and military figures meet to plan Ukraine peace efforts. Christy Coventry elected IOC president, making history as first Oman and African leader. And Yamal's Ramadan fasting not a problem for Spain coach De La Fuente. You were listening to Headlines, now news in detail. President Trump signed an executive order to start dismantling the Department of Education, the White House said. The signing took place at an event attended by several Republican governors, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The order aimed to give states and communities more control over education. This will expand opportunities and improve outcomes for all students, White House spokesperson Harrison Fields said. However, fully eliminating the department would require approval from Congress, which remained uncertain. The effort to dismantle the department had been a long-standing Republican goal since the Reagan administration. Shortly after Education Secretary Linda McMahon was confirmed, she issued a memo titled "Our Department's Final Mission," stating that closing the department would leave American education freer and stronger. A senior official confirmed that programs like student loans, Title I funding, and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act would not be immediately affected. These programs would later be moved to other departments, including Treasury, Justice, and Health and Human Services. Trump previously suggested student loans could be handled by Treasury, the Small Business Administration, or Commerce. President Trump recently called for the impeachment of U.S. District Judge James Boasberg after he ruled against his administration's efforts to deport Venezuelan migrants. This marks the first time Trump publicly called for a judge's impeachment. The president's Republican allies have also criticized judges who have blocked parts of his policies. A group of Republican lawmakers introduced impeachment resolutions against judges like Boasberg, Paul Engelmayer, John Bates, and Amir Ali. However, these efforts are unlikely to succeed due to the high hurdle for impeachment and removal. In response, Chief Justice John Roberts criticized the idea of impeaching judges over disagreements with their rulings, stressing that impeachment should not be used for judicial decisions. While the House can introduce impeachment resolutions, the Senate requires a two-thirds majority to convict and remove a judge, making removal improbable. President Donald Trump recently discussed with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky the possibility of American assistance to reclaim and modernize the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest. The plant, currently occupied by Russian forces, has been non-operational since Russia's invasion in 2022. Zelensky emphasized that while Ukraine is open to discussions, Russian troops must first leave the nearby city of Enerhodar for any deal to be legitimate. The Ukrainian government views the plant not only as a crucial energy asset but also as a symbol of national sovereignty. Trump's team, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, suggested U.S. involvement in restoring the plant, but Zelensky stressed that only Ukrainians could safely restart it, ensuring the plant's security. For any deal to move forward, the Russian occupation must end, and Ukrainian personnel will need to restore the station's infrastructure. President Donald Trump said Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels would be completely annihilated and warned Iran to stop sending supplies to them. Iran must stop sending these supplies immediately. Let the Houthis fight alone. Either way they lose, but this way they lose quickly, Trump wrote on Truth Social. Trump said reports showed Iran had reduced its military support for the Houthis but was still sending large amounts of supplies. Tremendous damage has been done to the Houthi barbarians and it will only get worse. It's not a fair fight and never will be. They will be completely annihilated, he added. The Houthis attacked Red Sea ships after the Gaza war began on October 7, 2023. The latter stopped after a ceasefire in January. However, last week they threatened to attack Israeli ships again, leading to the first U.S. strikes on Yemen since Trump took office in January. Washington launched a military campaign on Saturday, vowing to keep attacking until the Houthis stopped targeting key shipping routes. Houthi officials reported multiple U.S. strikes in Yemen, with their health ministry saying 53 people were killed and nearly 100 wounded. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. A viral video on social media falsely claimed that US President Donald Trump banned Indian customer service representatives. However, the video was a satire created by the YouTube channel Sobering Satire. The video featured a Trump impersonator with AI-generated lip-syncing. The video was edited from Trump's real press conference on January 10, 2025. The original speech did not mention banning Indian customer service. The satire channel confirmed that the voice was performed by artist Michael Clive and AI was used only to modify Trump's face. While AI detection found no strong evidence of fake audio, it did detect visual alterations near Trump's lips. The video included a disclaimer stating it was satire, but it is still spread widely. Some posts shared it with a misleading Hindi caption about population control. As of now, Trump has not issued any executive order related to Indian customer service. Trump has faced criticism in the past for mocking Indian accents, but he has also praised India as a great place. The viral claim remains false and no such policy exists. The U.S. Department of State has announced a reward of up to $15 million for information leading to the arrest of a woman and three accomplices accused of smuggling U.S. technology to Iran for almost 20 years. Liu Baoxiao, also known as Emily Liu, and her associates allegedly used front companies in China to send U.S. electronic components to firms linked to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Liu's associates included Li Yongshin, Emma Lee, Yang Yawa, Stephen Young, and Zhang Yanlai, Sidney Chung. The components they smuggled could be used to produce drones, ballistic missiles, and other military equipment. The components were falsely listed as being for China but were sent to companies in Iran, such as Shiraj Electronics Industries and Iran Roshd Afzar. Federal charges, including conspiracy, were filed against the group in January 2024. Liu and Chung are now on the FBI's most wanted list, and arrest warrants have been issued. The State Department's Rewards for Justice program is offering up to $15 million for information leading to their capture. The IRGC has used smuggled U.S. technology to develop weapons sold to countries like Russia and Yemen. Pawn Stars star Rick Harrison shared his deep grief after losing his son Adam Harrison to a fentanyl overdose in January 2024. In an interview with Graham Bensinger, Harrison discussed the struggle with Adam's drug addiction over the years, mentioning multiple rehab attempts that initially seemed successful but eventually failed. Adam, who was 39 years old, died from a fentanyl overdose, and Harrison expressed how nothing is worse than losing a child. He talked about second-guessing his actions, asking himself if there was more he could have done. "You never see the overdose coming," he said, adding that there is no instruction manual for parenting a child with addiction. Despite the heartbreaking loss, Harrison said he tries to focus on the positive memories with Adam and his other family members to keep moving forward. He stressed the importance of appreciating what you have while you have it. Governor Kathy Hochul reaffirmed her commitment to providing free breakfast and lunch to more than 2.7 million students in New York. In her 2025 State of the State proposal, she announced plans to subsidize the cost of school meals, addressing food insecurity and saving families money. New York State currently receives $2 billion in federal funding for school meals. Hochul's proposal would build on this support, ensuring every student has access to nutritious meals regardless of their family's income. The initiative will eliminate financial requirements, offering free meals to nearly 300,000 additional students. Research shows that free meals improve attendance, test scores, and overall learning, benefiting both students and families. Governor Hochul emphasized the need for continued federal support for these vital food assistance programs. This move aims to ensure that all students in New York can focus on their education without worrying about hunger. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Israel's defense minister issued a dire warning to Gaza, threatening complete destruction if Hamas does not release all Israeli hostages. Following renewed airstrikes, at least 58 people died in a third consecutive night of bombings, bringing the death toll to 500 since Tuesday's missile attack. Israel's ground operations resumed in central Gaza, dividing the region into north and south. Airdropped flyers warned civilians to evacuate as the Israeli Defense Forces declared these areas combat zones. Meanwhile, tensions escalated as Houthi rebels in Yemen fired missiles at Israel and U.S. ships. The U.S. responded with airstrikes in Yemen, targeting Houthi sites. President Trump warned the Houthis of complete annihilation if the attacks continued. The situation remains critical, with Israel demanding Hamas's elimination and the return of hostages, setting the stage for potential further military actions in the region. Senior military leaders and European officials met to discuss long-term peace plans for Ukraine as both the United States and Russia prepared for new talks. Around 30 military leaders gathered in London while EU leaders convened in Brussels. This European summit came amid concerns over the US's commitment to European security and fears of Russian aggression in neighboring countries. Ukrainian President Zelensky and Russian President Putin recently held talks with US President Donald Trump. Both sides agreed to halt attacks on energy infrastructure for 30 days, but the strikes continued. Trump suggested the US could take over Ukraine's power plants, while Putin demanded an end to Western military aid for Ukraine as a condition for peace. Meanwhile, the US is considering additional air defense systems for Ukraine, and the EU is pushing to meet Ukraine's request for military support, including 2 million shells worth $5.4 billion. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Kirsty Coventry was elected president of the International Olympic Committee, making history as the first woman and first African to hold the role. The 41-year-old Zimbabwean, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, won in the first round of voting with 49 votes, securing an 8-year term. Her election was a victory for outgoing President Thomas Bach, who had supported her as his successor. Coventry will officially replace Bach on June 23, 2025. In her acceptance speech, she expressed pride in shattering glass ceilings and pledged to make everyone proud with her leadership. Key challenges for Coventry will include navigating political issues leading up to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics and finding a host for the 2036 Summer Games. She also aims to prioritize athletes' mental health and well-being, continuing Bach's legacy of gender parity in the IOC. Spain's coach Luis de la Fuente said on Wednesday that there were no issues with Lamine Yamal fasting for Ramadan as Spain prepared for their Nations League quarterfinal against the Netherlands. De la Fuente stated that Yamal, who is 17 and observing Ramadan for the first time, had followed guidelines provided by the team's medical staff and nutritionist regarding eating and drinking. He emphasized that Yamal was in perfect condition to play and the situation was entirely normal for the team. We have the utmost respect for all beliefs, said De La Fuente, adding that he had never managed a player observing Ramadan before. The first leg of the Nations League quarterfinal was scheduled for Thursday in Rotterdam, with the return match to take place in Valencia. De La Fuente expressed confidence that Yamal's fasting would not affect his performance. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 19,537.27. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 44.05 points or 0.23%. Tokyo stock close price is 37,751.88. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 93.54 points or 0.25%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,408.95. The Shanghai index is decreased by 17.48 points or 0.51%. Hong Kong stock close price is 24,219.95. The Hang Seng index is decreased by 551.19 points or 2.23%. Bombay stock close price is 76,348.06. The Sensex index is increased by 899.01 points or 1.19%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Trump signed order to begin closing the education department. Trump calls for impeachment of federal judge but removal unlikely. Trump proposes U.S. role in securing Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, but Russian troops stand in the way. Trump warns Iran over Houthi support amid U.S. military action. Viral video falsely claims Trump banned Indian customer service. US offers 15 million reward for Oman and accomplices smuggling drone take to Iran. Porn star Ricky Harrison opens up about losing son Adam to fentanyl. Governor Hochul reaffirms the free breakfast and lunch for over 2.7 million students. Israel threatens Gaza with complete destruction if Hamas fails to release hostages. European leaders and military figures meet to plan Ukraine peace efforts. Christy Coventry elected IOC president, making history as first Oman and African leader. And Yamal's Ramadan fasting not a problem for Spain coach De La Fuente. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel, and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.